In this video we'll create a new page layout component. The page layout component allows you to create a complex page layout with multiple objects on it, multiple grids, reports, etc., all laid out in a complex layout that might include tabs, containers, accordions, etc. So let's go ahead now and say new web component, and I'll choose the page layout component over there, and then we'll go here and look at the different pieces that we can put onto the page layout. There are grids, reports, A5W pages, HTML pages, etc. So let's go here and we'll choose auto suggest, then we'll choose conditional image, then we'll choose say customer lookup, and let's go ahead and choose say one more grid, say customer validation. So now we've got 4 grids on this page, and they are stacked vertically because you can see there's a break character after each one of them. So let's go ahead now and preview the page layout. So you can see there are the AJAX callbacks taking place, so the grids are all done with AJAX callbacks, and so now we've got a page with 4 components on it, and then we can interact with each component individually. So the fact that there are 4 components on the page is irrelevant in terms of the speed of the response, because when we interact with this grid, nothing else is being done with any of the other grids. So if I go change that now to say 50 rows, that has no impact on these grids over here, which are all acting independently. So now let's say that I'd like to lay this out in a different layout. So I'm going to go back to my page layout builder, and let's go here and say that we'd like this to be visible in a window that is say 4 inches high by 4 inches wide, and let's put a border around it. So let's go here and say we'd like a solid border that is 1 pixel, and let's go there and choose say that color over there. We're just going to just choose say a red border over there, and I'm going to just copy this to the clipboard, copy, and then go there and again choose say 4 inches, 4 inches, and then paste in the same style, and then I'm going to go there and turn off the break. So now these 2 grids are going to be displayed side by side. So you can see there's grid 1, there's grid 2 over there side by side, and then grid 3 and grid 4 are still underneath each other. Now let's say I'd like some horizontal space between those 2 grids, so I'll just go there and I'll go to containers and I'll type in a spacer, and I'll give the spacer a width of say 0.2 inches, and let's go ahead now and run it. So you'll see now that we have a space of 0.2 inches between those 2 grids, etc. So now let's go ahead now and make a more complex page layout. First, let's say that we'd like these components to be only displayed not when the page is initially loaded, but when a button is pressed. So I'm going to go there and say when a button is pressed, and then go there and then say when a button is clicked, and then go there and say when a button is clicked, and then go there and say when a button is clicked. So let's go ahead now and run it. So you can see there are 4 buttons, and there you can see that when I click those buttons, I basically get the components. Then I can say, well, when the button is clicked, instead of having the grid show up on the page, I'd like to show it in a modal pop-up window. So let's go there and say make that into a modal pop-up window. So these 2 grids now are going to be shown in modal pop-up windows. So let's go ahead and press the button. So there's our modal pop-up window over there, and the grid is bigger than the window because we should have set the window size, which we didn't do. So let's close that down, and then we go there. You'll see again the grid is bigger than the window, so we'll go back here and we'll go back to our window, and we'll remove the height completely, which will actually auto size the window. So let's do that and auto size those 2 windows over there, and now you can see that when we run it, basically the windows is going to be auto sized over there. So there's the window showing the modal window showing the grid in a modal window, in a modal pop-up window. So we'll pause now and continue in the next video.